always forget. Okay. So I was reading these articles and they were talking about literary agents being on YouTube. And now, especially with COVID in 2019 or 2020, and the changes and stuff that were going on, now they're going to YouTube and posting videos of what they're looking for. So if you're interested in getting an agent, YouTube is like a great resource. So I'm on YouTube, to watch everything that involves glitter because that makes me happy. But when I saw this, it made me kind of get to thinking on how all of you guys as authors could be on there doing readings from your book, doing book trailers like Rox and Charles do. But like if you're wanting to pitch to agents and stuff, you could get in their comments on YouTube and be like, oh, well, I see that, you're saying romance novels are going to be really big this year. What's some tips or whatever that you can give me? And they'll comment back and write you back and do all those things. So it's kind of like Twitter in that sense, if you're wanting to get an agent or just get more information, right? So I started down a rabbit hole, you guys, on YouTube. And there's like so many, there's interviews with like big literary agents, with big publishing companies on what they're looking for, the different trends that are going on, and all kinds of stuff. So I see that as a good resource for you guys, but I also see it as where you guys need to be as publishers and as authors with your books. Like doing the book trailers like Rox and Charles do. Maybe not paying the price that they pay, because a lot of them you can kind of make yourself, but posting them up there and giving you like your audience another destination on where they can find you. I think
you want a call or something.
Yeah. And like especially if you're like James, like when you guys are opening submissions, you can get on YouTube and be like, hey, we're open for submissions. Here's how you can do it. Here's my link. Right. And then you can be like, these are the genres that we're looking for, and like showcase some of the books that you currently have and stuff. But then you can repurpose that video on all your other social media platforms and on your website. So it really is just another way of getting you guys more exposure, but it's also where people are going to look for authors, to look for book readings, to look for book trailers and get more inspiration. That way, YouTube's really coming up for authors. Anyways, thank you. That's her 2 cents. Anyways, so I was amazed to find it, and I'm sure that I am late to this literary agent on YouTube party, but I think it's something that you guys should all do, whether you're looking for an agent or not. You should create a YouTube channel. If you don't have a publishing company, do it as an author, because you can do book readings. You can even do your podcast, James, on like repurpose it on there. And you'll get different audience and viewership and everything like that through there. But YouTube is coming hard in a big way for authors. So you should jump on the bandwagon now while it's kind of manageable. It'll be easy to do before it really takes off and becomes super popular. That way you're like, I've already been on that. Check me out on YouTube, right? We all want to do that. So hopefully she's not going to scream. Okay. Anyway.
Don't worry, she does.
No, it's really loud. But so I was going through on how it would benefit all of you guys. And so Greg, I was thinking for you, you go to all these Comic Cons and Comic Paloozas and you dress up and you have, other author friends that go there. And so by doing videos of you going there and your table and all the authors and all the experiences that you have as an author at these events, people are looking for, because people like me, I never think to go to Comic-Con to buy a book, right? But the people that are gung-ho, go to Comic-Cons, Comic Palooza, all of these, they know that's where you go to get, good books and resources and stuff like this. So you could turn that into a thing for your books. Here's where, the Alonica series is going to be this weekend. Here's where, your test of the Western is going to be, and you can turn it into different things. You know what I'm saying? So you can do it that way. And James, you can do it as an author for the Killer series, but you can also do it for publishing. So you could have two. And the publishing one is where your podcast could be hosted as a publishing company and all the ins and outs and stuff. And when you open for submissions and stuff, but literary agents are also going and looking at these to see if you have a YouTube channel, to see what your book's about, when they're giving out all the tips of what they're looking for. So those are just the ideas off the top of my head. So if you guys have questions or you want examples, I pulled it up. I hope everyone got when I said lit agent. I was in a hurry to write the email. I'm sorry. But I only had one hand too. But that's where, like on social media platforms, Julie, I know a long time ago you had mentioned that you were interested in YouTube. So I've been doing the research and stuff, and it really is going to be a big powerhouse for authors. But you guys have to be comfortable doing videos, like how I'd sit here and talk to you guys and do all my crazy stuff. You just have to be comfortable with doing it and uploading it, or just go live straight from YouTube, and you don't have to record it or upload it or anything.
I did see that YouTube has a live feature, and
when you can go live from Zoom and YouTube.
So I seen that. I don't have any new thing posted since the Miami Book Fair, but I noticed that they do have a live feature on there. So I gather you can just get on YouTube and do whatever you do,
so you can
and it will save it.
It's the same way as doing Facebook Lives. Like if back in the day when you had to go live on Facebook, everyone remembers that. So it's the same way of doing it like that, but now like Zoom offers it where you can go live through Zoom onto YouTube. Rio Stream, which is how you can multi-stream to different platforms, they offer it where you can do it. StreamYard offers it. So there's just an integration into it. So if you're wanting something more comfortable, like Zoom is easy for everyone to function, everyone knows how it works, then you can just do it through Zoom because you know the platform and it's going to upload to your YouTube channel. It kind of cuts it off. But I mean, it's kind of where I know, because I know I've said like videos before and they're super important and we all need to jump on them and la la. But let's be honest, we're not all super comfortable being on camera, especially by ourselves, because it's literally like you're talking to yourself, but other people are listening. So I understand that. But these platforms and stuff, and especially after COVID, that's kind of where things are going. So we have to kind of get comfortable, and YouTube is the best place to get comfortable because it's forgiving. Because it's going to take you a little bit of time to figure out that you have to put all these keywords in there, which are just the hashtags that are going to help you trend and everything. But you can link it up with your website. You can repurpose it onto all of your other platforms. And so you only have to go live on one platform. But you can do the same thing with Facebook, but you're going to get more visibility on YouTube because a lot more authors are going to YouTube and readers are going to YouTube to hear people read their books. People do reviews of books on YouTube, all these things. So you should capitalize on it now while it's still kind of unheard of before it gets really big and everyone's doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like book readings, James. Like you could read from your Killer series, but then you could also have Athena on to read from her romance book. And then you could have David Baylog on to read from his book. And you can kind of discuss like the chapter he's reading and how it ties into sci-fi and fantasy and how he came up with all these things. You can tie it into that and then do like a review of it. Or you can have someone else do it. So like if you go to Fiverr and you're looking for people to review your books, that's what they're going to do is they're going to go on YouTube after they read your book and give you a video review of, hey, this is what I think. I highly recommend it. Or no, I don't. Stay away from it, right? That's where people are going. I went there and I found so many different like book reviews. I have a list of like 10 books now that I need to read. That's where people are going. But they want to see the face-to-face. It builds a personal relationship and a connection to either the author, the publishing company, or the person reviewing the book. So if you get on that and you capitalize on it, it's going to be more successful for you and your business in the long run.
Well, as part of what I would do when I would look for the commercial, I seen that people do readings. Fiverr people are offering to do readings of your book. It's not like for the voiceover, making the book voiceovers or anything like that. It looked to me like they're just offering to do a reading of your book for whatever the price would be.
Yeah, but you could do it for free on your own, or you can have like Athena read your book on your YouTube channel, right? And then you could repurpose it on Facebook and be like, hey, Athena read an excellent chapter from my book. This is just a taste of the rest of the series to come, right? And it's like a 10-minute read or whatever. And it gives them kind of a taste of what's to come and the language in your book and the style of writing that you do to see if it correlates with what they're interested in. So it's really kind of, in my opinion, I know I'm a millennial and I'm young, but that's where I go because I can read it in my head, but I want it to like come to life by having someone else read it. That's why audiobooks are so popular and important. So if you have someone reading it on video and you can see their facial expressions and like the passion that comes out in it and the writing, I'm more inclined to go buy that book or buy that audio book. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Brian, oh, I love you, Brian. So your tip book, you could release a tip a week and be like, hey, have you checked out my tip of the week in my book, 52 tips, right? So you could do that on YouTube and it would be like, I don't know, a 7-minute video, or you could even not have the camera on you and use Loom, which will record your screen so they don't have to see you. And you can show them, demonstrate the tip that you're suggesting in your book. People are going to go to you for that. I mean, like if I was doing Wix websites and I was like, hey, I need to do this, I'm going to go to YouTube to figure out how to do it. You're muted, Brian. I know you're saying something.
Yeah, I have a YouTube on my big 62-inch screen or whatever like that. I watch videos at night and it's amazing. There's some pretty cool stats. Like YouTube is the second most popular search engine behind Google.
Yeah.
And I put a link in there because there was one video that I watched 2 nights ago that just blew me away. This guy he talks about how he grew his business to 2 million subscribers on his channel. He just gives financial advice and real estate advice, and how much money he makes from just the ads that YouTube plays.
Mm-hmm.
It's over $1 million it's almost $2 million a year that the man makes from having channels. And it's interesting because there's a channel that I watch and I didn't know how many, and you can actually Google what is the channel worth or something like that, and they talk about the stats, and some people are making millions of dollars on YouTube, and they're not professional videos. They're just basically because I was looking, I put a video on there 7 years ago. I didn't know it had 10,000 views. What? Yeah. I'm like website design portfolio Houston, and it's got 10,000 views, and I'm like, I don't think I have any of those clients still, but hey, if it's got that many views, I'm leaving it on there.
Yeah. Well, think of it too. If you research, this was like a year ago, but the richest person off of YouTube was like, I don't know, a 6 or 7, maybe an 8-year-old kid who was doing review of toys. And he was making millions of dollars just by reviewing these toys for kids, right? It's definitely, thanks for putting soap on me. That's gross. Okay.
Amy, quick question, if I may.
Yeah.
Not quite a year ago, I'm going to say before COVID, I'm pretty sure it was before COVID, regardless. We were trying to get video reviews on Amazon for our clients here in this group, and we were never ever successful that I was aware of. Maybe we were, I just didn't hear about it. But we're talking, I just did a quick search on Fiverr looking for video review, book reviews, and there are a couple of people there and they charge a reasonable amount. But did we ever solve the issue with how do we actually get a video review on Amazon for?
Yeah, so they're actually way more popular now. So you can do it, like I can do it from my webcam. It used to be where you had to do it from your phone and upload it onto it and it wasn't user friendly. Now it's like smooth sailing, especially after COVID when everything went online. It was like, let's just make this easy. So now you can do it from your webcam and it gives you an option down at the bottom on how you want to review it. And you can say, I want to leave a video review. And you click that and you give access to your webcam and it'll let you record it. And then you just submit it to Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate that greatly. And I think those video reviews are worth more than just a written review. Is that correct?
Yes, they are. It's going to be kind of the same thing as having someone read a chapter from your book on YouTube, right? So they're going to go to both places. Amazon is, huge anyway. So people go to reviews and stuff for that, or they go to Reddit, but people are going more and more to YouTube to find out information, to find out about books and to hear books read and stuff like that. So Brian's right where it's, the number 2 search engine is YouTube, which is all video driven. So it's definitely something that we should capitalize on while we can. But I see where, Reg, you could do a health tip, a day for longevity or healthy eating. You can do things like that on YouTube. People go to YouTube for that. Just like I go to YouTube to learn website tips or to hear, books read to see if I'd be interested in it. Like I do that. So if I'm interested in like a fantasy series, which I don't read very often, I'm going to go to YouTube to see if someone has read a chapter to see if it's something I would be interested in or not before I invest money into it. But I could do the same thing on YouTube down at the videos, but if they don't have a video review of it, then I'm going to go and listen to someone reading it before I make any kind of purchase of it. That's why it's important. But you can link it all up back to your website and make it smooth sailing. You can have a section on your website that, you know, is your YouTube feed for your videos and make it, you know, that way. So it's going to help in credibility. It should help boost website, you know, CEO and help, or SEO and help book sales. That's why it's super important for all of us to be on. I have to be on it too. I'm really bad at uploading author talk to YouTube, you guys. Like, fun fact about me, I'm really bad at it. But the membership ones, because I've gotten down where it's easier, I can do those. It's a lot easier for me. But it's just because I've had to master it. But I would say if you don't have a whole lot of time for recording and stuff like that, I would just go live. And whatever happens, happens. Hold on.
Speaking of Fiverr, it's going to be pretty interesting because Fiverr is a new Super Bowl advertiser this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That ought to be
and your
interesting.
majors
Fiverr.
like Coke, Pepsi, a lot of the guys who've been doing Budweiser, a lot of the guys who've been doing commercials for years are not doing Super Bowl commercials this year. It's going to be I heard that Fiverr is going to have their first Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
Now, Fiverr's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm
But that's
wondering
when
what
you
their
used-
business
long ago,
model is.
you used
They
to
must
get
be
things for
making
$5.
money.
I don't see very much things for $5 anymore.
No.
Oh, no. You can get $5 stuff, but mostly you're looking at around 100. You know, 50
Yeah,
to 100.
and there's the pro version.
Yeah.
People who are pro Fiverr, and now they're like, I saw something where I'll write your blog for $700. I go, it better be a damn good blog.
I better make money off of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of different things all through there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Fiverr is going to be a really good destination for like work and stuff like that. I go to there to release press releases and stuff, but I just think wholeheartedly that YouTube is where all of you guys need to be, and you can be creative with it and how you use it. And it's going to help with your publishing company, with your book sales, just with getting yourself out there and getting known. And like Ryan was saying, if your videos become popular, you can make a ton of money on YouTube. I know a bunch of YouTubers that make millions of dollars. Now, don't quote me on that, but if you do end up making $1 million, remember us little people, okay? Us little people here, okay? Just remember who gave you the idea. No, but I think it's definitely a platform to be on. And I may kick myself for saying this, but I feel like it's a more important platform to be on than like Instagram and maybe even Twitter, in my personal opinion. So
YouTube.
I'm probably going to kick myself for saying that, but I really feel like it's that much bigger than those two platforms combined. You just have to get comfortable doing video, which we all know. If you need someone to make it, you know, goofy and corny, just call me. I'll be on it with you, with or without makeup. I'll just be like, hey, here's how it's going. I can totally help you start it. That's not a big deal for me. I've done it for so long. It's just second nature. But does anyone have any ideas, questions? You hate this idea, it's okay. We're a family here, but anything like that. I didn't plan on this one being super long unless you guys had a ton of questions or you need help with setting it up. Anything.
No, but let's pick a time to start this podcast thing going.
Okay.
Give me a time where you're free for like maybe, I don't know how long, maybe a half hour or so, where we can get on and Zoom together and do some podcasting. Don't have to be a lot of time. It don't have to be, you know, every week or something like that. Just let's get something going.
Tuesdays and Thursdays before 5 are good for me. I set this aside for speaking engagements and stuff to book you guys on. So Tuesdays and Thursdays before 5 are good for me. Oh, I do want to talk about, so Kathy's thing on Monday really inspired me. So I want to do a thing as Through the Eyes of Authors community. And I want to, whoever's on board with doing it, I'm wanting to find an organization or different organizations and give a copy of everyone's book to them that need it, whether it's children's books and it would go to children's, or like, you know, high school libraries or something like that, just as a donation towards them for the group is kind of what I'm looking to do. And, you know, if it brings up membership sales, then that's great. If not, it's okay. But I'm wanting to kind of give back in that sense. And so if anyone wants to do that, anyone knows anybody, any organization that's looking for any kind of books or whatever, I have a ton of books that I can donate as well. But that's kind of what I'm thinking for the organization or the community and how we can give back as an author community and get books in people's hands and they're your books. So people are reading them, which is great. So if you have any suggestions, you want to be a part of that, just send me an email, let me know. I'm looking around to see, and I'll just keep you guys updated. But that's kind of what I'm wanting to do just as the community.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the idea a lot. I'm trying to think of appropriate places to offer to donate the books.
Yeah. I was talking.
I would say libraries. Libraries are always.
Well, I hang out with librarians and they don't necessarily, unless you're donating them to resell to raise money, they go through a pretty strict system of vetting books before they put them on the shelves.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking of maybe like, I don't know, like YMCA's or like Mommy Day Out programs for children's books. And then I was trying to find one for like a young adult or just inspirational books.
I wonder about prison ministry, if they have libraries,
Yeah,
that they would consider receiving some, or like shelters, like some of the places that people are going right now to get away from COVID, or nursing homes.
I was thinking that in like assisted living, but
yeah,
the prison one, I can talk to Percy and see if they have that or if there's a need for books in there.
I heard prisons also vet your books pretty heavily.
I figured.
Yeah, because they got to make sure the content is, you know.
Yeah, I figured.
Something that's
Your
safe.
killer series, probably they're not going to let in there.
They probably won't let that in. No.
I figured that, but like children's books or inspirational books, like, you know, Julie's Savoring the Camino de Santiago, they would let that in.
We have a really good retirement community right around the corner from me, and it's part of a chain that's in maybe a dozen places around the country, and they have a library because I use their library. I'll call them and see if that's something they might be interested in.
Nice, Kathy. That would be awesome. That would help me a lot. But I just
ask them if they're still using the library, because I know that with the COVID, I mean, you go to a lot of doctor's appointments and all that, and all the magazines and books are taken up.
Yeah,
and a lot of it. You know,
that's really sad because
since March of last year, so it'd be interesting just to see.
The libraries are open; they're just not letting you come inside. You have to pick them up at the curb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really sad because they keep telling us you don't get this from surfaces, you get this from breathing on people. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm open to other ideas too. Like I'm super passionate about animals and fostering them and, you know, helping animals in need, especially there's one that helps the animals in the 3rd ward. So if I can correlate the two together, that's kind of what I'm looking at, but I'm open for suggestions. I just wanted to kind of talk to all of you guys who's part of the community and just like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. If you have ideas, suggestions, you know, if you know a nonprofit or something, just anyone in need, I'm, you know, down for a conversation about it. But that's what I'm wanting to do. So, but that being said, I don't have anything else for today unless you guys have questions or anything like that.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Greg, how are you doing before you leave? Good?
Oh, I'm getting better. It's like I said, it was a salivary gland that got infected, so it was just swollen and made it hard to eat. But still don't know the cause, if it was from chemo or if it was from something else. So I talked to the doctor on Tuesday.
Yeah. Wow.
That reminds me, maybe you talked about this before I got on, but it seems as though Lydia and CJ's mom has passed away.
Yes. Yes.
And I was thinking that as a group, maybe we'd like to contribute to flowers or something. I don't know.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Haven't they, or at least Lydia, been real involved with some kind of military auxiliary organization? Something about wings and angels. You know what I'm talking about, Amy?
I think
Yeah.
Jay is,
I can't remember the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Lydia has donates to some animal rescue thing with her books. So anyway, rather than doing it individually, I just thought maybe as a group, we'd like to do something.
Yeah, I'd be more than willing to do that.
Yeah,
I am open to it.
we can
So-
donate something as a group in her mother's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you head that up and then we have to figure out how to get our donation to you, whether it's through PayPal or.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can do that. I was planning on doing something, so we'll just make it a collaborative effort. That's what we'll do. I'll
So
find
can-
the name of the organization and stuff.
Can we just each send you a contribution through PayPal, Amy?
Yeah, that works.
Is it just your address? Just your email address?
Just my email address or my
Okay.
name. Yep. And if that doesn't work, let me know. I can send you the link. My toddler is very upset with me at the moment. You can't hear it.
Beating on the door.
Can hear it.
It's storming the castle.
I'm telling you, I feel like you guys come on my masterminds just to see what crazy thing my kid's gonna do next. Like I don't feel like I'm very effective in talking because she's, takes over. But I hope you guys get something out of these. I try really hard. I hope you get something out of them.
What we get out of it, Amy, is we're really glad it's you and not us that is having to deal with this.
Yeah,
That's right.
you
We
know.
have all been there, Amy, so we know
Yeah.
what you're going through, and we are enjoying your pain.
It's bringing
I'm
back
glad.
memories.
I'm so glad I can bring you guys enjoyment in my suffering while I'm trying to, maintain this whole thing. But, in all seriousness, I hope you guys did get something out of today. I'll download some more information on YouTube and put it out there so you guys have it. But please, if you need help setting up a YouTube channel or you just need someone to help you kick off getting on it, please don't hesitate to reach out for me. I can have someone watch my kids so they're not interrupting your professional vibe, I promise. Just let me know.
Amy, you cannot copyright book titles, so maybe what you might want to consider is writing a book called Barbarians at the Gate.
I should. I'm telling
The
you.
little horns on them, little helmets with horns on them.
I should. Julie, what were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say you could help me out by, you found these sites where agents are on YouTube, just sending them out by email so I can check some of those out.
Yeah, for sure. I will send you. I have the whole link of references, so I'll send that to you in an email so you can check them out. Some of them are from years ago, some of them are from a couple months ago, but it's good to kind of just look at and get some information and research on. So I'll send that out to everybody here. But keep me updated on your YouTube channels, you guys. I will go and subscribe and follow and do anything I can to help you guys. And I really do look forward, especially to yours, Brian, on website tips. You should be there on YouTube. You crazy man.
Actually, I do have a YouTube channel and I have a couple of Fiverr videos on there and a couple of videos that I created years ago, but not as much active as I used to be, but I need to be. But yeah. And the biggest thing with if you have a WordPress site, it is so easy to integrate into embed video into a WordPress blog. Basically, what you have to do is when you go watch a video, at the top is the domain. Put the whole domain basically in there, and the video will automatically embed. Now, there's a couple tricks you can watch about how to make it so that when the video ends, it just replays and doesn't start playing competition or anybody else's video. But the best thing about YouTube is you can learn how to use YouTube from other YouTubers. And there's so many videos in different categories. I mean, my wife goes, go to bed. I'm like, oh, I got to watch this new video on such and such. I mean, and it's amazing how much you can learn. I mean, I pretty much use that as my education tool now because there's such great videos out there on different subjects like SEO, local, Google My Business optimization. And there's some people who just give away a lot of free information, hoping that you'll possibly come and do business with them if you don't want to do it yourself. And I subscribe to a lot of channels. So yeah, I'm pretty much a YouTube junkie now.
Well, I use YouTube to learn how to fix my washing machine and things like that.
Yeah, I fixed my toilet.
But then if something needs to be fixed, I now go to YouTube and look it up because,
Yep.
people are on there telling you how to fix your car, how to do this, how to do that, you know. And my sons never come to me anymore for advice, which is good. They, you know, they go to YouTube and they'll tell me, hey, Dad, go to YouTube and look up this. And, you know, I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I went into, oh crap, that is a lot of good information, you know.
Well, I think that the nicest thing about YouTube is when I subscribe to a channel, I also sign up to get notified. So whenever they upload a new video, I get notified on my phone. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to check it out, right? It makes it easy and convenient for me, which is what most people want, is like easy and convenient. So that's why you just push your subscribers and stuff. That's why it's such a great platform that you guys should just be on. But I will send you the list of the agents and stuff, Julie. But you know, other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, you have
And
two
I will-
assignments,
I will-
agents and also Lydia and CJ's mom.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll keep
Say
you-
that again. Say that again, Julie.
Amy has two assignments. One is
Oh,
to send out the list of agents,
Yeah,
and the other is to put together the thing for CJ and Lydia's mom.
yeah. I'm gonna send you some money as soon as I hang up here.
Hi,
Okay.
I just wanted to jump on and introduce myself. This is my first time being here with you guys, and I
Ah.
received the notice in my email from Amy, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this looks good." And so I just jumped on. I wasn't aware. I don't remember getting on your list or anything like that, but I'm glad I did. This was really good information. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
good.
And it's
I'm
good to
glad.
see.
Welcome.
Good to see everybody's faces. I don't know you guys, but I hope to get to know you. You all sound like a really nice, close group.
Oh, nice.
Well,
Well, thanks
welcome,
for
Andrea.
joining. That was awesome. Hopefully my kids did not deter you. That's a good. That's
Oh
a
no, I
good.
completely understand. Because I heard something in the background earlier. I was like, "Is that a baby?" It's like, "Yep, that's a baby. That's good."
It is. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm sure you'll be getting my emails now since you're on my list, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, but you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday.
Welcome
Okay.
to the group,
Thank you.
Andrea.
Bye.
Thank
Yeah.
you.